Hi, good day wherever you may be. I'm back again with episode 4. In this episode, I will do a lot of my presentation from my reading notes because it's important. I couldn't keep all the ideas and flow. So I penned some things down. That's what I'll be sharing. And it's the beginning of our entrepreneur career. Here I am, knowing my purpose, having done my education, having done my athletics career, and just on the brink of starting my entrepreneur career. Remember what I said in the beginning, my partner and I carried this idea book, and within it was all the different ideas. And we had decided to embark on the hair care product industry. And we had done the smart thing by talking to some mentors to guide us. But then, within the idea book that we carried, we decided to study who an entrepreneur is. And then we wrote some key things down of being an entrepreneur, and I'm going to share. Who is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is someone who perceives an opportunity and creates an organization to pursue it. That's an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone who perceives an opportunity and creates an organization to pursue it. So the 10 characteristics of entrepreneur that we came up with are this. 1, dream. Entrepreneurs have a vision of what the future could be like for them and their businesses. And more importantly, they have the ability to implement their dreams. 2, decisiveness. They don't procrastinate. They make decisions swiftly. Their swiftness is the key to their success. 3, entrepreneurs are doers. Once they decide on the course of action, they implement it as quickly as possible. 4, determination. They implement their ventures with total commitment, the passion thing again. They seldom give up, even when confronted by obstacles that seem insurmountable. 5, dedication. They are totally dedicated to their business, sometimes at a considerable cost to their relationships with their friends and family. They work tirelessly. 12 hours a day, 7 days a week are not uncommon when an entrepreneur is striving to get a business off the ground. 6, devotion. Entrepreneurs love what they do. It is that love that sustains them when the going gets tough. And it is that love of their product or service that makes them so effective in selling it. 7, details. It is said that the devil resides in the details. That is never more true than in starting and growing a business. The entrepreneur must be on top of all critical details. 8, destiny. They want to be in charge of their own destiny rather than be dependent on an employer. 9, dollars, the almighty dollar. Getting rich is not the motivator of entrepreneurs. Money is more a measure of their success. They assume that if they are successful, they will be rewarded. 10, distribute. Entrepreneurs distribute owners of their business with key, loyal, committed people who want to go on the ride with them. These were some of the 10 characteristics we found out to help her get started. And then right from the beginning, as we getting started, my partner and I learned something, or we came to the realization that 2 things drive entrepreneurship: the spiritual realm and the material realm. So, before you start being an entrepreneur, you must master the spiritual realm before you can master the material realm. So in the spiritual realm, I've made some bullet points here that has been what we started with, that had guided us. For example, the persons, I remember that before we just jump out, we had done our homework. We had gone to see people in the business already, Mr. John Johnson, Mr. Joe Johnson, Mr. S.B. Fuller, and Mr. Joe Dudley. They were all kingpins in our industry with many years of experience and success. So we did that. So that was part of the spiritual realm. So we got a good direction going forward. We also realized that if you can read, write, and present orally, you can be successful. Another thing we found out is that nobody is born big. Even General Motors started in a garage. Another pointer, your thoughts and actions are your only equipment in life. Your thoughts and actions are your only equipment in life. My partner, Al, and I became very motivated by 3 good books in the early stages that helped us. First one was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It really became our Bible. A lot of motivation, a lot of ideas, a lot of how to go about things came from there. And then, since we're jumping into a business that requires a lot of marketing, another book that made a big impact in us is a book called Guerrilla Marketing. I've forgotten the author's name, but the book is Guerrilla Marketing. And the third book that made a huge difference for us. See, we were the first company in the industry to start positioning our brand. And we got the ideas and the motivation from a book called Positioning, The Battle for Your Mind. These 3 books were very helpful for us. So in other words, when you prepare yourself to go into a battle, quote unquote, you're not afraid because you know that you've done your homework and then you can make changes as you go along, but you prepared yourself well. So you're ready for the battle, you're ready for the competition. Moving along, we used to know, I always like to look at what's the worst that could happen. In any situation that I find myself, or most of the decisions that I like to make for my life, I ask myself, what's the worst that could happen? And then the answer we came out was, hey, the worst thing that could happen is that if we fail, after we leave our jobs, our banks, we can always go back to work for another bank or another company. Because remember I told you we had done our insurance policy with education. So you walk out with confidence that it's not all that loss. So you're not afraid to take a risk and a chance to do what you want to do. Another motivation that helped us when we first started was that in the bank in the Harris Bank where we were working, we had a friend, L.J. Simmons. He was in his teens just like me and my partner. And one day, this gentleman was coming to work. And then he got shot in Chicago. It was about 25, 20 dead. It really shook us, the black people at the bank. And my partner and I realized that there are no guarantees in life. So you do what you want to do and do it now. So you have to stop waiting and postponing things. If you have something to do, do it. Because no guarantees whatsoever. That was a good motivation thing for us. I'm still on the spiritual realm. Another thing that helps us is that as a bankers, what do we know about the haircare industry? But like remember I said, if you can read, write, and present, you can do anything. So we started doing a lot of reading, a lot of work. We even have to start learning what ingredients are, what they do, how they work together. We started learning how to formulate products through reading. And we used to call ourselves the Black Japanese because another innovation that we used to do is that we go to some of these hair shows, right? And then especially the big white hair shows. And then we will see a product that we know is applicable to the black market. So we would take the product and we come back, we analyze it, and we reformulate it with a contract manufacturer to adapt to the black market. So we're getting some good innovative ideas by being Black Japanese. You know, Japanese people like to take ideas from somebody and innovate. So that's what we used to call ourselves. Anyway, another thing that motivated us is a song that was released by McFadden and Whitehead. Yeah, I guess some of you know this. Ain't no stopping us now. Boy, Man, every morning we had to play the song to motivate us to go to battle. And what does the song say? We are on the move. The sky is the limit, and you can get what you want, be what you want. So that was our theme song. Man, those were the good old days. Anyway, we also realize that success does not depend on what you start with financially, but what you start with spiritually. In our early days, to visiting the salons, we asked this elder hairstylist at the salon, and I asked her advice on how to live life. Guess what he said? He said, young man, do all you can while you can. Do all you can while you can. That sounds good. So that became some of our mantra to do all you can while you can. Another thing that we found out was that it is not a matter of can I or can I not. Rather, it's a matter of am I or am I not. Okay. So, most important thing, even up to today, for everybody else, written plans and goals. When you commit ideas and actions, plans to paper, the universe or the spiritual law realigns itself to help you to manifest your dreams. So planning, goals, and all that, write it down, write things down. Idea book again, write things down. For some reason, the spiritual laws help you to manifest these ideas. I must give kudos to our wives. My wife and my partner's wife in the early days, because they were we had the continuous financial and spiritual support of our wives. There was no dissension about money or this or that. So they were very helpful in making us say, go ahead and live your dream. So kudos to them. I know Mrs. Frances Washington passed recently. May God keep her soul. And I want to thank Linda, my wife for many years. Thank you. Of course, we knew nothing about the hair care products. In fact, what we did to become better, and we became good in a short period of time, was that we questioned a lot of people in the business. We talked to a lot of hairstylists. Every place we go, we were always asking questions. Why are you using this product? What does it do? Why do you like it? Can it be made better? We asked a lot of questions to the hairstylist and they'll give us answers. Of course, we document all this. We come back, we sit down, we discuss the product that we were making. Do they meet the criteria? If not, what can we do to fix or adjust it? So these were some of the things that we did. We talked to distributors in the industry, we talked to brokers, and we even talked to our competitors' employees who we met in the field. So all these things were part of us getting better and better in what we were doing. So, in a nutshell, these were some of the spiritual realms that guided us as we started our business. You're going to enjoy it once I start giving you the narrative of our early beginnings and some of the milestones that we had. I will go to the second part. It's quite a bit, so I might not be able to finish in this episode, but the second part is the material realm. Okay, the material realm is important. We started our company, Afam Concept Inc., with 4 individuals. One is the African American, 3 were Africans, myself and 2 other friends. We each donated some money every month. Because at this time, that was prior to us leaving the bank. We were doing our homework all the time, so we used to contribute $50 a month just for simple expenses like business cards, letterheads, envelopes, etc., etc. Our initial strategy, which I told you we were directed in the right direction, was to start being a distributor till Mr. Sony told us, why you want to do that? Why don't you go create your brand? So that was the beginning of us going the right direction. So after he gave us the $3,000 to start our journey, we used the money to create our 2 initial brands. A lente for women, which was a curl product. That time, what you call the jelly curl, the curls product, was in vogue. for women. And we created another brand called Salam for men, which was basically a moisturizer to soften and detangle the hair. Of course, the 3,000 didn't go anywhere. So one of the two Jewish bankers who were friends with Mr. Washington loaned us $20,000. We used this money to make a lot of products. And then we had decided one of our original partners, who was a salesperson by trade and had a lot of time on his time because we were still working at the bank, we decided to support him to go to Africa to generate some orders. Prior to that, all four of us have traveled to Ghana, Nigeria, and Liberia just to see what the market looked like. And we came back convinced that we were on the right track doing the hair care business. Of course, after our partner came back, we weren't successful. We just came back with $5,000 in order. We've almost spent all the $20,000 we borrowed. But we had inventory, a lot of inventory sitting there. And we're at the bank. So what do you do? What do you do? So I quit my job, cold turkey. In April 1979, I walked away I tendered my resignation at the bank, Credit Leone Bank, and I started going to the street to sell my brand. That was the beginning. I'll continue with the spiritual and move on. Thank you for listening. Peace.